Okay. Next, after tools, I'm explaining about importing of files, right? How to import particularly images, importing and exporting images, right? Yeah, in Illustrator generally importing images is a two different ways. Okay, so one is linked images and second is embedding, right? So linked images, so here the linked images, linked files or otherwise images, and second is embedding. Embedding method. Okay, actually what are these? Okay, yeah, I'll use this white letter. Okay, suppose if you are importing a file, image, go to file and here a place, there is no import button in Adobe Illustrator, use place. Okay, then source images, you get the source images from your desktop or C drive or D drive. Okay, so here from desktop there is a file called a free to use, right? So there I'm using one image here, so I'm taking this one. Okay, select that image and in a placing option there is a link and template, a replace, show import option. There are different methods are there. First let us discuss about that link. So link means if you click on the link button, okay, your image is importing as a linked image. That means what? You are not directly opening that image into Illustrator. Instead of direct image, this image is going to place as a linked document, linked. So that means it is not directly opening from somewhere, from desktop or from C drive or D drive or E drive. From there it is coming to Illustrator, coming into Illustrator, right? So after clicking this link, place, use place. So now click here, see this is your image, and if you observe here there is a cross mark. So it is indicating this file is linked file, right? So linked image. So I'm pressing Alt and Shift and decreasing that file size to my artboard. Okay, then I'm using Alt to zoom that. Okay, this is my linked image. Actually, what is the benefit of the linked image? Linked images, I told you, linked images means files are not directly opening into Illustrator because it is not open in Illustrator directly. When you save this file, it takes a small file size, right? And when you are using multiple images in Illustrator, right, sometimes we have to deal with the big documents like posters or brochures and all. So there we have to use many images, right? When you are using many images, better use as a linked files, insert them as a linked files. So after saving your whole your whatever the file, your poster or brochure, takes the less file size. That is the benefit. But one thing you have to remember, when you are saving your linked files, you must have to save as, suppose here it is asking Create to cloud or on your computer. So on your computer, and give some name. Some name here I'm using linked okay, linked file, a linked file. Okay, I'm saving this. Save this one. Okay, it is saved. But in default, this linked include linked files box is not checked. So it is in unchecked position in default. You must have to check this to tick mark. Otherwise, what will happen after saving this, that file won't include into your Illustrator file, and maybe that file you have to send for the printing at printer area, at printer's place. When you try to open that file, they won't show the image along with your design, because that image was at your desktop. It's not linked to that file. So always keep this on, include linked files, right? So suppose okay, so this is your linked file. Suppose it is there, where it is, yeah, here it is on my desktop. This is the file, right? Suppose if you delete this one, suppose I am deleting this one, just deleted this one, right, and close that one. And suppose when you open that Illustrator, see, when I open the Illustrator, it is saying what? Some files are missing or modified in the links panel. Would you like to update them now? So that means what? You already removed, deleted from your folder. So it is not showing because that was a missed. So the same way, the same way when you send files without carrying that file with your design, Illustrator design folder, maybe there also it shows the same. Some files are missing or modified, right? So what you want to do, suppose modified them links panel, would you like to update them now? Yes. See, a replace, it is asking could not find the linked file. So in the name of that one, choose replace to select another file, or ignore to leave the link unchanged, replace. So it is asking instead of that file, you want to replace with any other file. So it is asking, right? Suppose if I click, then so now see that file was replaced. So it has some problem. So that is the loss, and the benefit is when you use a linked file, it takes the less file size, right? With your on your desktop or with your pen drives. But always keep them those original files, linked files in your folder. Okay, this is the method, the linked images method. The next one is embedding method. So second method, file, place, and suppose here I am using this photograph, okay, and now instead of link, uncheck this link, right? So I'm not giving the link here, and place. So now see, your photograph is directly opened into your Illustrator. That means what? There is no need to save as a linked file. Okay, that means what? It is not showing that into mark, cross mark. So that is the symbol. Your file is directly embedded into Illustrator. But the problem is when you use all embed files, more embed files into your Illustrator, maybe it takes a more file size, right? That is the only the problem issue. or otherwise better to save in as a linked images. Okay, embedding means what? Directly you are inserting image into Illustrator, not by coming that file from somewhere with a link, right? So it is directly opened. So don't forget the difference. Linked file is linking from somewhere. Embedding is directly inserting your image, right? Okay. Now you try to save this. Save as. Okay. So another name. File 2. Save. Now see, the this option include linked file box option is disabled because it is not a linked file, right? So directly you can save this. Now it is saved. See, it is saved now, and when you open that file, suppose this is file 2, this is, when you double click on that, so directly it is open in Illustrator because it is open. And that is the methods, two methods when importing files or images into Illustrator, right? Okay, keep this side, and now I'm deleting this one. Otherwise, saving method, how to save or export, import already, but how to export files. Suppose a file, the file formats in Illustrator are, when you give save as, here it is showing Adobe Illustrator AI, so it is Adobe Illustrator native file format. And there is a PDF. The PDF is portable document format, and Illustrator EPS formats, encapsulated PostScript file, and Illustrator template as a template, and SVG scalable vector graphics, and SVG compressed, right? So the difference is, suppose when you save this into Illustrator with layers, it can save. PDF is mostly probable for a printing option, PDF and Illustrator EPS, right? So we use this, and this template, as a template it opens or saves. Scalable vector graphics is it's a vector graphics. Generally this file can open with any web browser like Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, right? And this is the same file, but it is compressed, right? Okay, then when you use export, if you want to save your file as a JPEGs or PNGs, you must export as, right? Not save as, like in Photoshop, right? Here you have to use export button, export as, export for screens, export as, save for a web. So for web usage, you are planning for any web export purpose, you have to save this area, right? To cancel. So here I'm using export as. In export as, see, there is different file formats are there. So the Autodesk, for the Autodesk people, they use this file format, and CSS file and enhanced meta file. So these are the files mainly we use as a designer, right? This is a JPEG and PNG file format, and even PSD, right? With the layers, you can save your file as a PSD file, and the same PSD file you can open in Photoshop. And this is SVG. Suppose here JPEG, suppose you know that, suppose JPEG, anyway I'll save this JPEG. Here I'm creating one folder, a new folder, okay, a file formats, this is my folder. Here I'm using, see, you always keep this on, use artboard. So what is this? This is the artboard. Suppose you are not using this one, okay, some cases you place your content your unnecessary stuff. Sometimes your some elements from the designs will keep on this pasteboard, right? Otherwise this portion move outside the artboard. So without using this option, if you save that one, it takes outside artboard also, right? It saves including outside the artboard. So always keep this. Suppose you want to save within the artboard, the whole artboard you want. See, artboard means this white area. If you want to save your file, entire whole artboard, don't forget to on this one, use artboard, right? Use artboard and export. Okay, I'm giving this is a file format 1, okay, and export. Even it is asking CMYK or RGB and grayscale. So in default I'm using the CMYK only. Okay, say okay, saved. And then I'm using another method, export as again. Now PNG now, and of course you have to use artboard, right? Export. See the transparency it is maintaining, right? Say okay, and again export as. Now I'll take PSD Photoshop document and use artboard and export. Okay, see the medium resolution 150 or otherwise 300. So I'm using 150 only. Okay, maximum editability. So a flat image, suppose with one image, as one image or otherwise including layers if you want to save. So always keep this right layers, right? This is okay, saved as a Photoshop document. And one more thing is export as. And now see here SVG, right? Use artboard, SVG, export, and this is the styling internal CSS and a font SVG. Okay, keep this, and these options as it is, keep this, save okay. Okay, SVG, and again export as. And now come to yeah, these are the other file formats. We are not using all these things. Okay, yeah, keep this. Okay, cancel. Okay, after this one, cancel. And there is a SVG file format. So in save as button, it is showing EPS. Yeah, SVG saved EPS. Okay, use artboards, save. Where here the same file, all file formats here we are using save. Okay, the version, it is version name, save. Okay, it is saved. Okay, then let us check those. This is my file formats. Now see, these are the files. The first one is JPEG and including your artboard, the whole artboard it is showing, right? And the second one is PNG. So without the background, the transparent background, it's saved, right? And this is a linked and encapsulated PostScript file, EPS file format. And this is what? SVG file format. And this is Photoshop. Suppose you can open with this. Suppose open with the Google Chrome. I'm using, or otherwise I'm using Edge. Yes, see, and just close this one. So it is used by Microsoft Edge, right, web browser. And suppose open with a Google Chrome. See, web browser with Google Chrome, it is opened. So that is SVG file format, and this is Photoshop file. And suppose, yeah, double click, I mean otherwise open with Photoshop. Now see, your file is opened in Photoshop. So that means what? In Illustrator, these are the very important file formats, right? So practically we use all these things. Okay, so these are the information today I'm giving. In the next class I'll explain other things. Okay, thank you.